I felt the need to come on here and talk about this current Pisces season, but I wanted to do it through pick a card, especially because it's all going to be hitting us in different ways. And I wanted you guys to really get an intimate, direct channel for each and every one of you guys, or as intimate as a pick a card can be. My name is Lana. I am an intuitive astrologer, and I want to welcome you all to my YouTube channel. Guess what I feel for this Pisces full moon, or sorry, Pisces season slash new moon in Pisces, is a lot of shadow work. For me, Pisces is illusion, daydream, but it's also that point in the astrology wheel where it's like our karmic cycles come to an end. Pisces is the last of the 12 of the zodiac. So it's only refreshing to me that it is kind of the major ending. And I think with it, it brings a lot of decluttering and a lot of need to just kind of clean house, especially of past lives, and being able to see where we are now, where have we been, and where do we want to go. I think there's a lot of detours coming up, as well as a lot of secrets that are about to pop up for this Pisces season. And I know this level of intensity is usually equated to Scorpio, but I think that Pisces and the 12th house is honestly the bigger death, because it's the ultimate end of the zodiac versus Scorpio, which is literally just the halfway point. So without further ado, I am going to get y'all into these pick a cards. You've got 3 piles, like all like all pick a cards are usually about 3 or 4 piles. So we've got group 1, group 2, and group 3. The messages were very deep. I pulled them ahead of time, so I pray that these messages resonate with you, and I'm going to get into the reading. So hi everyone, welcome to pile number 1 if you chose pile number 1. I guess there's nothing to do except to do it. First thing I really get off this pile is a need for positivity. Like, I'm getting a lot of excitement, so there's a need to play more games. There's a lot more need to enjoy, laugh, etc. But there's also a need to reclaim your space. So if you're trying to move forward in any type of way, whether this is a move, what new life changes, just you wanting to shift in general, I'm feeling a need for multiple things. Number one, when we say reclaim your space, it's about you prioritizing. So what are the things that are most important to take care of right now? um, how do you go about making, you know, the most important choices, or doing the most important actions, instead of trying to do everything all at once? You need to reclaim your space, because I feel like you are bombarded by your emotions and your fears, and so it forces you to get out of this space of listening. And I feel like you guys are a very intuitive pile, and you're able to actually, like, be able to tap into the channel and tap into spirit a lot more acutely than others. However, right now there's a need to reconnect to that. So let's see where this goes a little bit further. I'm also hearing like recuperation. So maybe you've gone through a lot, um, like a lot. It could be that you have just overcome a really abusive relationship. Maybe you've overcome um, recently having a child. I'm hearing someone may have gone through a divorce potentially, and now it's time for you to kind of pick up the pieces again. But you need the time to just let the dust settle a little bit, and that would be the reason why all of these emotions are coming up. Yeah, give yourself time. Give yourself time to make these improvements. They're going to happen. You're going to do it. You're on the right track. It's just that you got to kind of savor the moment a little bit and be more intentional and more gradual in your steps. Take it slower. Take it a lot slower. Just don't forget to move. Of course, you have to remember that you have to stay moving, but this is about Being able to really stabilize yourself, because I also think you're coming out of a place of immaturity. Girl, I ain't even flipped the cards yet, but this is honestly just straight channel. Yeah, I think there's a need for a more stable foundation. Um, and you don't really want to go about things the way you have before, which is in a very, and I heard the word immature way, that rushes, or, it's like you keep falling down. There's a need for more fluidity and connectivity between your projects, between what you're doing. I'm hearing networking for a lot of people, and sharing your voice and taking ownership of yourself, building that level of pride. So, let's see our cards. Nine of Swords. For this, I'm getting a couple things. So one, restless anxiety for sure, which is what I was already talking about. There's a need for detachment, because I think a lot of the anxiety that's happening is self hallucination, in the kindest way possible, not to make fun of any mental health at all, or if you're having a mental health flare up. I think that there is a lot of illusion happening, and a lot of us are very eager to just rush to the end. A lot of us are over eager, and that's not a bad thing to feel that way, but it's almost like you're trying to run away from having to confront yourself, having to confront the most important parts that come with growth. So it's about, yeah, and it's like we're trying to speed past our worthiness. And really, it's the worthiness that is the issue. We don't feel worthy, and we don't understand what it is that we deserve. And with the Nine of Swords in reverse here, this is about that, almost like reclaiming, like I was saying before, if the body has been a place of shame, if existing inside of your body and your mind has been a space of imprisonment, it's hard to want to go inside of that and be inside of that. And so, we disconnect, or we turn our eyes away from everything but that. But this is about interconnectivity. What is it that you're feeling? How do you feel about this? Feel your way through these things, because swords is a very mental energy, and perhaps you are like me, and you live in your mind, and you think your emotions, you rationalize with them, but you don't feel through them. And I hear, yeah, it's almost like a nonstop chatter. And for a lot of you guys, you need to get into this moment of I'm hearing Neptune again, but in this time a more positive way, and also the eagle spirit animal, the need to visualize yourself, play. That is what it is about. Is what I got for play and joyful. That sort of cinematic, like Secret Life of Walter Mitty type daydreaming that I'm getting. If you were to see yourself in any other circumstance or as any other way, it's like, how do you want to see yourself? And how does you, as the most bold and beautiful and happy version of you, what does that look like, and what does that feel like? Envision it, play with it. That's a part of the reconnectivity as well, especially because I feel like a lot of wishes are about to be granted. And if you just recently been through this, fuck it, we've all been through the new moon in Pisces. That was a dumb thing of me to say, because we ain't got no choice but to go through the planetary alignments. But for this most recent new moon in Pisces, I feel like it's been kind of showing you, some of these clogged up, I feel like it's been showing you some of these, what is it called? Like the dreams that you kind of forgot about, or things that, you were like, the universe isn't really listening to me, but it was. And there were things that maybe you dreamed about or thought about, and it's like, the more and more you just kind of relax a little bit and stop playing these head games with yourself, the more that you're able to dig a little bit deeper into what it is that you enjoy. The more you're able to dig into some relaxation, and I also feel like you're able to also change your story too. What is the fun of it all? Justice. I hear divine timing and being able to trust your own worth. I'm also feeling like the word stalemate is coming in. Um, they're saying your hopeless romantic seize the moment. I don't know who's that for. Your hopeless romantic seize the moment. Bring in your own happiness and choose your wisdom. This is about self-respect. It's about getting over your struggles. It's about getting over, owning your timelines, right? Because there are certain, and when I say owning your timelines, it's about what is your world, right? What are the things that you want to go through? What do you not want to go through? It's about picking and choosing. And it's about an alternate vision of your reality. See, this is about the power that you have in your own hands to make a choice. At any moment, we can choose. And it's the same with, our minds or, our hearts, our emotions. We have a choice. So when do you choose to change the story? And sit. I feel like there's a need to seek counsel, but when I hear seek counsel, I feel like it's from divine wisdom. So before you listen to anything else, before you listen to the world outside of you, because that's ultimately a reflection of what's happening in you, what's needing to happen is you need to go back to the divine. You need to meditate. You need to listen to create sacred space. Create sacred space. So if that's meditation, using some candles, taking some deep breaths, going to your altar. You need to set space around creating this. And you also need to call in the spirit, your soul, the divine, whoever it is. And I'm also getting a lot of ancestors and guardians around you right now too. You need to receive them and open your mindset just a little bit. Yeah, I feel like I just keep hearing like the sound of someone saying, shh, shh, don't worry, don't worry, don't worry. um, there's definitely, I'm getting kind of choked up, a strong protector here for somebody. And they really just want you to step into your power. And just receive. Receive the prosperity. Receive the things that are here for you. Because I feel like this is also a generational clearing as well. And it's like staring you in the face. But you have to just be willing. Ten of Cups reversed. What do I get for this? Yeah, I feel like this just kind of goes with this. I think it's about what I was just talking about, and also the need to erase this negativity. It's like a level of completion that is coming in, but a need for just more discernment as well. Is there anything else that I'm getting for? Some of you guys might need to do some research. Although it is important to say to be imaginative, I think there's also need to just know the difference between illusion and daydreaming, as well as what is practical. But I feel like I'm just getting conclusion for this. I think it's done. So that was you, pile number one. I pray that this message received, and I honestly just want to remind you guys to choose happiness. And that is what I have for you. All right, so hi, pile number two. Um, for you guys, I also feel like, and I'm just launching into it. If you watch pile number one, I'm getting white noise, new beginning, and it's like a new strand of time almost. So I feel as though you guys are hearing the whispering of voices inside of yourself that are guiding you towards more independence, and they're guiding you towards a sort of rebirth. Let me hear a little bit more. I feel like you guys struggle with control issues. And some of y'all might, for some reason, I really feel like I'm getting Leo energy. Um, and you sense inside of yourself that it's time to move forward. But you guys got to release this sort of anxious hold that you have on it. You need to detach. Um, yeah, there's a need to clarify some, and yeah, I'm just getting there's this sort of bickering back and forth. You're like, but it's inside of yourself. And it's only leading you to a stalemate. And there's a need to remember that you're not on trial. So sometimes it's like you put yourself on trial and you almost like play devil's advocate between the two opinions inside of your head. And this is kind of a wound for you because it's something that you need to sever. I'm hearing the tides are changing. And there's a victory ahead for you. But you kind of got to get out of this prideful, stubborn um, way of thinking, and way of feeling like you have to prove something. That's part of the reason why you are so stuck inside of your head, and why this noise is so chattery, because you think it has to be perfect, whatever it is you're trying to do. And it's like, no matter what you do, or that's part of the hidden objectives. That's why this thing isn't really moving forward. It's like you're struggling, and even as I'm talking to you guys, it's like I'm struggling. um it's pins and needles, and a lot of it is your ego. A lot of it is the need to sort of dementalize, because for some of you guys, you might have some strong ass mental energy. Like, you might be really gifted with your mind. But I want to remind you all that practicality isn't always just, oh, let me get these numbers in line or whatever. Practicality is also being able to realize that things take time to grow, and that you are not in control of how others perceive you, and that there is not some invisible jury waiting to judge you if you make the quote unquote wrong choice. Sometimes practicality is about reducing our own illusions of grandiosity and the negativity or the false idea that we've got something that we have to prove. Um, what else am I getting for you guys? I'm getting use your own voice and stand on your own opinion. And I think that something about the voice is very soothing for you guys, whether, if you just need to talk it out, or when you're learning how to communicate with other people, or whatever it is, something about the voice is going to soothe you greatly. But I still just get this energy of you're overworking. And a lot of the times when we overwork ourselves, it's because we don't really feel like we are worthy of things being easy. We don't feel like we're worthy of uplifting ourselves it's a trauma response to have to constantly be in motion and going on and on and on and on. And sometimes you kind of gaslight yourself into thinking that you have to. You guys are under a lot of pressure. And again, a lot of it comes from, yeah, and I feel like I keep getting practicality for you guys. But it's as though I'm just hearing like, no more nonsense. This can't anymore. Whatever it is that's been trying to stop you, or whatever reason why you go into this self-destructive mode, the hidden objective, it's gotta go. Yeah, 4 of Pentacles. So, a lot of you guys, I don't know if you are on medication or not. And I'm also not sure, but I'm hearing you need to take your medicine. You need to take your medicine. Whether this is through herbs, you know, something soothing like chamomile, or, you know, your reishi, or whichever it is that helps you kind of bring your body back down. Or if you do regularly take your prescription, I'm hearing you need your medicine. Let me see what else I'm getting from you guys. Yeah, and also medicine isn't, when I get medicine, I also feel like some of you guys are like protein deficient, meaning that you need some more, yeah, it's like you're sluggish. There might have been some weight loss, or you're trying to lose weight, but it's like you cannot. Yeah, there's a need to change your diet, get on a better sleep program. I feel like this is about, yeah, and some of us have also picked up some excessive weight as well, which there's no body shaming either. But it's like there's an immunity thing going on here. I'm no doctor. I cannot give you medical advice at all. I would say that go to your doctor maybe. And just maybe get a little bit of blood work done, but also see, you know, what's needed, because I feel like there's some nutrients that are lacking inside of your body as well. And it could be the result of the stress or whichever, but, and for a lot of us, I also feel like I'm getting cortisol. Our cortisol is up high, and when stress is high, it's like the rest of the body just kind of goes. So, yeah, you definitely need to look at that. Get more protein, get more rest. Do what you can to take care of your body. The High Priestess. I'm feeling there's a need for some more internal assessment for you guys. And something about maternal instincts is coming up. So, for some of us, we have a kid. And you know how you naturally just kind of get those sort of instincts, or you know how to take care of your baby, basically. It's those gut feelings. And in this way, it's like they kind of want you to turn that maternal instinct back on yourself. So it's about, first of all, reimagining your inner child, or at least looking at your inner child, slowing things down for her or him, so that you actually can recollect, so that you actually can understand the best way to nurture. What does your maternal instinct say about that? What does your maternal instinct say about the way that you're treating yourself? Listen. I also think that a lot of us are over problem solving when the answer is super simple. Like, a very glaringly simple answer is right there. But then we add on all this extra stuff, and you're like, oh, then I gotta do this and also that. But what happens then and there? And they want you to confront yourself. Ask yourself why. And also give yourself a break. Take some time. Take some time. Motherly energy is also a very patient one too. So I feel like in that motherly energy, you'll kind of have some time to recollect yourself. And I'm also getting to stop passing judgment. Stop passing judgment and belittling yourself. Make it clear with yourself. Make a standpoint of what you will and will not tolerate anymore from yourself, though. Because I feel like it's about being able to just pick your battles internally. What is worth it? What is not? Because a lot of it is causing bitterness. And I'm hearing it's like reopening wounds. And this is a very karmic pattern of indecisiveness and self-bullying. And you need to decide to walk away from it. Especially because a lot of it's creating false pride. And it's unintentional. And it's actually misdirecting you. In this pile, I think there is a need to really just apologize to yourself. And to take ownership. Number 1 was called for ownership too, but you guys are also called for it. And being able to own your bad habits. And just because it's happening inside, or you're doing it to yourself, or maybe you don't fully realize that you're doing it, does not mean that it does not matter. This is about you being able to break open and cut cords with the past. This is about karmic debt repayment. I feel like I'm getting like Archangel Michael energy of needing to listen. I think Archangel Michael is really guiding this pile right here to take a stand and to be a lot more brave. But when I say karmic debts and karmic paths, I strongly feel like this is what this is a consistent pattern in your life, and you've experienced it time and time and time and time again. And maybe this could be carried over from a past life. I don't know. Maybe so. But it's time for it to just be cut off. It's time to pay the debt and to leave it alone. For good, because it's not necessary anymore. I feel like I'm hearing networking, but networking in the sense of talking to the rest of the world. This is about community. And just allowing that sort of community. And I know the magician usually isn't that, but I think the use of voice and the use of your strength and your individual talent is going to help you gain clarity of yourself and help you regain clarity of the tools that you already have inside of you. I think that it's also going to help you remember to lighten up just a little bit. So, yeah, I just keep hearing, don't worry yourself. And also, this is about you needing to be a little bit more honest. Needing to be a little bit more honest about what you desire and who you actually are to the rest of the world. That too is a form of compassion, because what you're looking for as well, I feel like, is real connection and genuine companionship. And you can't get there without that. So forget about the control. I feel like this also goes back to the whole control thing. You've got to release that need to control. So pile number 2, that's what I've got for you. Thank you. And we will move on to pile number 3. Hi, pile number 3. Welcome to your pile. Oh man, it's funny because I'll be in the middle of just greeting you guys and like I get hit with something, and what I just got for you guys is like grinning, smiling. I'm seeing a huge smile, and I'm just hearing still smiling. So I don't necessarily know who that was for. Maybe it's the fact that you guys need to just, you have a reason to smile. I'm hearing there's a lot of detours that are coming, but you need to be willing to, one, have compassion for those detours if they're coming along, and pick up the pace about yourself. It's like, I feel like there's been no movement for a while, and I think the reason why is because you're still listening to old rejections in your head, and you've got a lot of clouded fears about what it could be, and there's a lot of denial. I'm thinking a lot of denial happening, particularly about what is going to happen for you or what can happen for you. There's a lot of denial about the type of life that you'd like to live, or whatever it is. And that has been, and you guys too, the unworthiness of what you really, really want. And now it's time to pick up the pace, because these things are here for you. They're here. But you have to you have to learn to be more compassionate for you guys. And also, I'm hearing keep it simple. So if you listen to pile number 1, then pile number 3, same message, very similar energies. Honestly, all 3. For you guys though, it's scattered. You guys are very scattered and unintentional, and it's like you're trying to go about doing things, but problem is that you don't necessarily, you're acting out of reaction. You act out of reaction when it's like, okay, well, now my finances are fucked and I got to do something about it. So let me go back to that thing that I was trying to do. Or, it's like you just kind of, you bounce back and forth without any real plan, strategy, structure, intention, or sense of continuity. And it's time to face the music and really do that thing you said you're going to do. And stay the course. Pick up the pace. Because I feel like the less that you do, or the more that you choose to not, it's like you're alienating yourself. You want to participate in the world. You want others to see you. You want to be that teacher or that master. You want to be that, but it's like you have to be more honest. And when I say honest about it, it's like, when I say honest with yourself about your commitments and what it is that you can do. Also, less people pleasing. So I heard covert narcissism, and don't take this as slander or diagnosis. I'm not a doctor, I'm not a psychiatrist, but I hear what the fuck I hear. And when I hear covert narcissist, a lot of this stopping and whatever is about you placating to other people's egos, and thus you placating to your own. Especially because you are afraid of what they're thinking. You're afraid, you want to know who's going to support you. And in that way, it's like you end up veering off your own path. for other people who probably wouldn't do the same for you. There's a need for you to make a commitment to your own path. That is a big soul lesson for you, pile number 3. And that is a commitment that's being asked. You have to be, and I feel like I'm hearing luck for you guys as well. But there's just been so much disobedience from your own knowing. So you guys need to learn how to regovern. And by regovern, I mean you need to become the center of all of your decisions, your own discernment and your talents, and that boss energy inside of you. That has to be what's needed. But I just think you need to detach as well. Everyone is being called to sever and detach for this, and disengage from all of the subtle, shadow and egoic ways of being. And I just feel like King of Swords is here for all of us heavily. But you guys got to declutter a little bit. You gotta make some things clear. And I think there's a lot of stubbornness for you guys as well. Yeah, less stubbornness. Just get a strategy. Move forward. Pick a point. Pick any point. Start. Stillness. So, you need to free up some space. And I don't know if that's actually like physical space or if it's just whatever it is. You need to do some, I think it's for all of us, honestly, for all the piles, do some journaling. And go about things a little bit slower. Now, you guys are fastest out of all the piles because the other piles were more like having to slow down. But you guys, it's like slowness, but slowness in motion, if that makes sense. Probably doesn't. What I mean by that is spending less time worrying and actually just taking the little small steps to get it done. What is the smallest thing that you can do today? And then what does that play a part of a bigger goal or action or intention? How does this all connect? And what does it mean? I don't even just mean that. It's like they're saying you need to play your part, and start. Because I think a lot of you guys are big time healers. I think a lot of you guys are some big time voices. I think a lot of you guys are also some big time, like, you're just here to do some shit. And they want you to reassess what you think you are or what you think you are worth. And how do you want to serve and heal and move forward, not just for yourself, but I also feel like it's for the collective. I think a lot of you guys are here to also bring some happiness as well. And you need the mental clarity. And you need to get out of the mental fog. But doing that doesn't mean staying in this space of uncertainty. It's about the will to move forward, even when you think that you can't. They're saying you need to be bold. Take a bold action. And to prove yourself. When I say prove yourself, it's not in the sense of... When I say prove yourself, I mean that you need to show yourself what you are made out of. You have to remind yourself, because I think the word complacent comes up here. We've gotten stuck in complacent spirals of maybe staying in the same toxic situation or same relationship or whatever it is. And we look at ourselves and we're like, damn, we could really be doing more. Well, now's the time to remind yourself and show yourself that yes, I can and I am and I will be doing more. It's about pushing yourself. I'm getting soul lessons, but I think it's about new soul lessons coming in for you. So, whatever this is, we're leaving it in the past. Whatever inner conflict, because they're like, there's just so much more that is waiting to happen for you. But girl or boy, you gotta go. Person, it's time to go. So, it's also about, when I first pulled this, I got teacher. and beehive and connection as well. So like you're here for the community for sure. All of my piles kind of has something to do with that, but you especially, I think it's about your role inside of it versus simply just participating as an inside of it. Um, Something about mentorship. So mentorship and receiving an education. Some of you guys need to receive an education from someone or are receiving it, and you need to be humble about it. So there are some older figures who are trying to show you, and maybe you feel uncomfortable about it, or maybe you're kind of being like a people pleaser about it, and you don't really want to. It, I don't know, something about this person might upset others around you, but you almost lose your sense of gratitude for what this person wants to give you and wants to show you, and you could actually use a lot more help than you think that you do. So you should use this person as a resource. And I think also there's a hefty balance here between codependency, right, and wanting to wanting to not rely on someone because you've probably gotten stuck in codependent situations in the past and it's been uncomfortable. I also feel this strongly with a lot of family members for you. So it's actually been with family members, not so much this person, but they need you to let it go. Because in this case, you don't necessarily have anything to prove, or you don't have to have that objective of harshness with this person. You can take your time. You don't have to prove anything to them. They, I think they care about you a lot. So, team, yeah, really take on and let yourself have that mentorship. And yeah, I don't think I'm getting any else from that. Yeah, I don't think so. Ace of Cups. I pulled the Ace of Cups, but I heard King of Wands. And I think that there's a lot of excitement, breaking barriers for yourself. Because, and you just don't need to even trip right now because you are ready to make some crazy advancement. And you'll be surprised at what comes out of the woodworks when you allow yourself. And I'm also hearing championship. Like, it's as though you're about to make a major comeback, but you just have to believe in it. Because a lot of the thing is, a lot of you guys actually are a lot more gifted than you give yourself talent, or yeah, talent as well. Some of you guys are musicians too. I keep hearing music. You guys are a lot more gifted than what you give yourself credit to, and you don't really. It's like, unless someone is telling you that you're doing good or whatever, you don't necessarily believe it. But I'm here to tell you that this is not fact. The closing message for this is to believe in the impossible. Believe in the possibility of manifestation, and just trust the timing. But you got to be brave enough to act on your impulses, and be brave enough to take a chance on yourself. So that is what I've got for you. And yeah, namaste, good luck. I am so thankful that you took the time to tune into my channel. All right, and that is the end of our reading, you guys. I really pray that it helped create the clarity that you need right now, and that it provided you with the next steps. I feel like I'm getting the swan spirit animal right now, which is a need to have grace. All of these piles need to have greater grace. All of us collectively need to have grace for ourselves. We are divine beings, and it's like we can't lose sight of just how worthy and how loved we are, not just by God, but by ourselves. Amongst us, we are needed. You are needed. So just remind yourself of that. And if you feel like you need to book a reading, then I will leave my link down below, or just feel free to contact me for more information. Yes, I love you all. I want to say thank you to everybody who has chosen to look at this video and be here with me. And I pray that this Pisces season treats you well. I pray that you treat you well. So, namaste. Bye.